D.C. police officer facing second-degree murder charges.
And all this stems from the fatal shooting of Antoine Gilmore during the summer of 2021 in Northeast D.C. Our Nana Saint-Bonsu is live outside the courthouse with more. Nana.
Jim and Angie, good evening. D.C. Police Sergeant Envis Jeverick walked out of the courthouse today with a GPS monitor. Tonight, he is at home on administrative leave with pay. Now, Jeverick is facing 3 separate counts, a murder charge, use of firearm charge, and the last one, a civil rights violation in connection to the shooting death of 27-year-old Antoine Gilmore. This is the body camera footage from the morning of August 25th, 2021. D.C. police were called to the intersection of Florida and New York Avenue about a man who was believed to be unconscious or sleeping in his car in a traffic lane around 2:45. When officers approached the car, Gilmore was in the driver's seat with his foot on the brake and a visible gun on his waistband. Officers tried to wake him up, but he didn't respond immediately. Take a listen to the seconds leading up to the shooting. We just want to note to our viewers what you're about to hear may be graphic to some.
He ain't waking up. Don't move! Don't move! Don't move! Watch your hands! Watch your hands! Please, don't move!
We're told Sergeant Jeverick shot at the moving car 10 times, striking Gilmore, who later died at the hospital. In a press conference after the shooting, Chief Robert Conti admitted that his officer violated department policy. In D.C., it's against the law to shoot at a moving car. Tonight, MPD released a statement saying, in part, we are confident that the subsequent criminal proceedings will be deliberated fairly and do recognize that this is a difficult matter for everyone involved. Now, Jeverick's next court date is on March 16th. We did reach out to his attorney for comments, and they're not ready to make one at this time.
Back to you guys. Murder after a traffic stop in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Officer Christopher Schur accused of shooting Patrick Lyoya in the back of the head. ABC's Alex Perez in Grand Rapids tonight.
Tonight, the Michigan police officer captured on camera fatally shooting Patrick Lyoya, charged with murder.
Taking a look at everything that I reviewed in this case, I believe there's a sufficient basis to proceed on a single count of second-degree murder, and that charge has been filed.
The charge against Grand Rapids officer Christopher Schur comes after a 2-month-long investigation. Schur turning himself into authorities.
Stay in the car! Stay in the car!
The ordeal unfolding back on April 4th. Video shows Schur pulling over 26-year-old Lyoya for a license plate issue.
The plate doesn't belong on this car.
Lyoya, when asked for a driver's license, shuts the car door and begins to walk away.
No. Stop. Put your hands right.
When Schur tries to detain him, Lyoya takes off running. They then struggle over the stun gun as Schur deploys it. Schur, now on top of Lyoya, pulls out his gun and fires, appearing to shoot Lyoya in the back of the head. Since the incident, protesters taking to the streets several times demanding justice. Tonight, Lyoya's family, who immigrated to the United States after escaping violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo, saying they won't give up until the officer is convicted.
Don't get tired, don't give up, because the fight is still hard and ahead of us. Don't give up, just keep fighting.
And David Schur is due to be arraigned tomorrow. The police union defending his action, saying an officer has a right to protect themselves. The police chief says he will recommend to the city manager that Schur be fired. David?
All right, Alex, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.
On July 26th at approximately 6 p.m., we know that Susana Morales left her home on Santa Ana Drive in Norcross and walked a short distance to the Sterling Glen apartment complex on Indian Trail Road. There, she met with her friend for about 4 hours, and at about 10 o'clock, she began her trek back to her house. We know that between 10 and 10:30 p.m., Susana had an interaction with an individual and ultimately was not seen or heard from again. This case was immediately assigned to our Criminal Investigations Division. who worked diligently on this case and followed up on a number of leads and tips. However, those leads and tips did not come to fruition. We know that on February the 6th, a citizen who was walking in the area of Drowning Creek Road and Highway 316 happened upon skeletal remains. The Gwinnett County Police Department sealed that crime scene, the Gwinnett County Medical Examiner took custody of those remains, and they were positively identified as having belonged to Susana Morales. The following morning, February 7th, we brought out a large contingency of police personnel and conducted a methodical and meticulous search known as a grid search. And during that search, we located a firearm that had been reported stolen on July 27th. This is the same day that Susana was reported missing. That firearm we traced back to a 22-year-old former Dorville police officer named Miles Bryant. Bryant then became a person of interest in our case. We continue investigating, and on February 13th, we secured warrants for concealing the death of another. Since that time, our criminal investigators have been working this case continuously, and we have reached a threshold to where these charges have now been upgraded to felony murder and kidnapping charges.
There's been some reports that there was another woman who had some issues with Bryant. Do you guys believe there are additional victims that either may have been killed by him or may have had some other kind of harmful interaction with him?
So to be clear, we have no information at this time linking Miles Bryant to have harmed someone in a similar fashion. What we do know is that in 2018, Miles Bryant lived next door to a neighbor. We know that in 2018, he went to this neighbor's house and allegedly tried to enter the house through a window. The police were called. We conducted an on-scene investigation. Miles Bryant countered that argument or that allegation. The homeowner in that case did not wish to prosecute, and so that case ultimately was resolved. There is a 2022 case, December of 2022, in which Miles Bryant visited the home of an acquaintance. We believe that he may have tried to enter a residence, and we're conducting an investigation on that case. We do believe that warrants are forthcoming.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.